திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமாமுகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருநாவுக்கரசு வளர் திருத்தொண்டின் நெறிவாழ வரியான தவமுனிவர் வாகீசர் வாய்மைத்திகள் பெருநாமச் சீர்பரவல் உருகின்றேன் பேருலகில் ஒரு நாவுக்கு உரை செய்ய உண்ணாமே உணராதேன். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் மண்ணூர் ஆனாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரனே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலைய மண்ணா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனக திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பரங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக 63 நாயன்மார்களுடைய வரலாற்றை பெரிய புராணத்தை ஒட்டி நாம் ஆங்கிலத்திலே தொடர்ந்து சிந்தித்து வருகின்ற பாங்கிலே திருநாவுக்கரசு நாயனார் புராணத்தை நாம் தொடர்ந்து சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. There are two ways of getting the grace of Lord Shiva. One is directly performing pujas, extending temple service and reciting songs and adhering to the rules and regulations of Shivahamams. Like this you can directly render your service, your devotion, everything directed to Lord Shiva. The second way of getting the grace of Lord Shiva is to do the service to his adiyars, to his disciples, to his devotees. Lord will be pleased and he will be happy if we are aiming towards him, if we are traveling towards him, if we spend time, if we devote time to think about him, to think about his books, to think about his regulations, he would be happy. But he would be more happy when we adhere to the preachings and teachings. See, we may learn so many things, but what is the use without practicing them? We have to practice whatever we have learnt. So, we are learning things every day about Lord Shiva and his disciples. So, whenever we want to get his grace, we must extend our service to Lord Shiva or to his disciples. See, it is being considered by Lord Shiva that extending service, performing service to the adiyars are considered in par with the service to the Lord Shiva himself. So, if you perform a puja for Lord Shiva, he would be happy, but he would be more happy if you perform your service to his adiyars. So, an easy way to get his love, attention, or whatever you call. If you want to get the attention of Lord Shiva, if you want to get the grace of Lord Shiva, if you want to get his help, the easier way is to surrender to his devotees. Without expecting anything out of it, you render service to them. You serve without any precondition, without any expectation. Do the service to them. Then the results are very clear. as a fruit on your palm. In Tamil they will say, Ullangai Nellikani Pola, they will say. So, you need not wait, then and there God settles your service. If you do the service to the disciples, to his devotees, that is why people will be very eager to extend service to the disciples visiting temple or in a puja time or in a function, temple function. It is an easy way to, instead of spending more time with Lord Shiva, you can spend your time in extending your service to the devotees. Lord Shiva takes note of these immediately and rewards. That's how our people, our Gurumars, our mentors are saying. See, the whole Periya Puranam is based on this theory. That is, extend your service to his disciples, to the Lord Shiva's disciples, in whatever way is possible for you. There are no specific rules and regulations how to render the service, in what way you have to render service, in what are all the service you can render. No such regulations. You can find so many ways to extend your service. You can find a lot of ways to do a service. Often it is being told that nobody need not expect some others to entrust a service. You go in search of it. Whenever you go to a temple, there will be a lot of services that you may pick up and do. You don't expect anybody to come to you and tell you, do this service or do this or do that. You pick it up and do it. You would be happy. You would be happy to render that service. You can see a lot of people standing in the temple expecting to do some service to the devotees coming to the temple for darshan. I can note a person with pieces of paper, because when the people are coming out of the main shrine, main temple, they are coming out, they would be having the holy ash in their palms. They would not be knowing where to put them. They may want to carry, but they would not have, they may not be knowing how to carry it. Then this man gives a piece of paper. They put the holy ash on the piece of paper and fold it and keep it up, keep it in their pocket. So it's a service. That's all. So you can, if you go to temple and if you are inclined to do service, you can pick it up at any moment, at any time, at anywhere. Of course, some services need some approval from the temple authorities. You cannot directly go into the main shrine, sanctum, and you cannot do service in the sanctum. Sanctum you cannot enter. Only Shivacharyas can enter, isn't it? You should not go and offer yourself or volunteer yourself to clean the place there. That you can't do. Or you cannot pick up a lamp and clean it unless otherwise you are asked to do so. So likewise, the service to the temple, service to the devotees, service in any form fetches lot of grace from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is very happy about this. See, people we can see in Periya Puranam, they go to temple, they lit the lamps, they offer oil for the lamps. In those days there is no electricity, so the temple is to be lit only by these oil lamps. So it was considered to be a very big service on those days. See, Kaliya Nayanar, Gananatha Nayanar, Ganam Bulla Nayanar, these devotees, they rendered that service in lighting lamps in the temple. So it is very clear that if you are willing to do a service, it's available in some form. And so not only in temple, you can do some service to disciples. And when you are doing it, you must not have any reservation. You should not think that I am doing service to him, so he is indebted to me. Like that, we should not have some ideas. Without that's why I had told you at the beginning itself, without a precondition or without any reservation, you must extend the service. Suppose if you are asked by any disciple, can you do this? You do it without hesitation. I can see a very big official working in a very good position in a government sector. He would be coming to some sangam, some place where the meetings are convened. He would be coming to the place and he would be arranging the chairs there. See, in his office there would be so many persons at his service. There will be peons at his doorstep, peons at his room entrance. But here when he comes, he does the service to the lowest level. He puts the chairs, arranges them, and he is doing so much of service without thinking that I am an officer, how can he do that? No such ideas. So that drives out the ego. The main idea of rendering our service to the disciples is to drive away our ego. Once our ego is driven, God shines there. His grace is showered upon us without any effort. So that's why we are being asked to service, to remove, to extract out, to nullify. We can say any word we find appropriate, to nullify our ego. There should not be any ego who is more powerful, who is less powerful. All those differences are ironed out when you are doing service. You are a devotee there, and you will assume yourself that if the list of devotees come, I would be listed the last person. I am the lowest of the lowest. I am the lowest of the lowest of all adiyas. That should be the attitude when you are doing the service. So, in Periya Puranam, we can see all the devotees, Nayanmars are all devotees. They are devotees in the sense they are devotees of devotees. Adiyarkum adiyen. Devotees of devotees. They are devotees of devotees of devotees who are devotees of Shivam. Likewise, if you go step by step lower, then your ego is driven very faster. If you are doing a service to a devotee who is a devotee of a devotee, then your ego level goes very fast down. So that's how our Sundaramurti says, Adiyarkum adiyen. Adiyen, Adiyarkum adiyen. So you just understand the power involved in such a notion. Here we were thinking and narrating the story of our Thirunavukkarasar, how to describe the fame of Thirunavukkarasar, how great he is. Nobody can measure. Even our David Chekudar says, I cannot describe his fame with my tongue. What does it mean with my tongue? Navukku unnadu. That's how he says in Tamil. It's not possible for my tongue means it is not possible for me to explain in words his fame. He is so famous. He is so great beyond my words. His greatness expels. I cannot describe his fame in my words. I bow before him. I catch hold of his feet. I catch hold of the lotus feet. I beg him. I surrender him to give me the words to describe him, to describe his love, to describe the deep love he had for Lord Shiva. How great, how subtle, how mild, how bowing. Nobody can describe. Nobody can describe. Not in words, but in action, but in thoughts. Thirunavukkarasar didn't express his humility, his humbleness, not in words. Not in words. Not only in actions, but also in thoughts. That is very important. Your humbleness may be expressed in words. That is very easy. People may say so many humble words. But once action comes, people may miserably fail. But Thirunavukkarasar not only humble in his words, but also in his actions. But beyond that, he is very humble in thoughts. Very humble in thoughts. That is why he is marked as Dasa Margam. Dasa Margam. Thirunavukkarasar had only one submission for Lord Shiva. One final submission for Lord Shiva. He begged Lord Shiva to grant him the permission to have darshan of Kailash. He somehow or other wanted to visit Kailash, to be there and to have darshan of Lord Shiva and Parvati. You understand? See, our people also willing to visit Kailash. We are willing to visit Kailash. And we are all, so many people are making pilgrimage to Kailash. Yes, they visited the holy peak, mount, they visited, they had darshan. It is to be appreciated very much, no doubt about it. But Thirunavukkarasar not only wanted to see the mountain, he wanted to have the vision. That's the difference. He didn't want to visit the mountain. He wanted to have the vision of Ammayappa atop the Kailash hill. He didn't want just a vision of Kailash mountain. He prayed. That is how his pilgrimage was planned and programmed. He programmed and planned not to visit the Kailash mountain. He had an inner feeling that when I go to Mount Kailash and when I visit Mount Kailash and when I have darshan of Mount Kailash, I will have the darshan of Ammayappa there. How he gives darshan to all the people there who are there. He wanted to have that vision. That is why he struggled hard. See, when he was unable to move even a small step, his limbs were broken and he was bleeding like anything. He was not able to move even a single step, and he was lying over there as a lump of flesh. At that time, Lord Shiva appeared before him in the disguise of a sage and told him, why you had come here? What's your motto? When Thirunavukkarasar answered, what he answered, he said, I wanted to have darshan of Amma in Kailash. He wanted, he narrated, he submitted his request clearly. I want to have darshan of Amma at Mount Kailash. Not just the mountain. Not just the mountain. See, Thirunavukkarasar was not an ordinary person like another devotee. His devotion very strong enough. He just boycotted, he just surrendered 100% to Lord Shiva. That we have to accept. His devotion and his submission cannot be compared to the love and submission of other devotees. You cannot compare his love, his deep love, his sincere love with other people's love. If he loves Lord Shiva, he loves nothing else, nobody else. His love is concentrated, focused and single viewed. It cannot be dispersed. It cannot be diverted. It cannot be dispersed. So such a type of love will have the demand, not like others. He will have a special demand. That is why he demanded, I should see with your spouse on the top of Himalayas. So when he told that sage, he appeared in the disguise of a sage. Lord Shiva only came there, but he appeared in the disguise of a sage. And the sage told him that it may not be possible for you. It is impossible even for celestial people. They won't be able to come over here and have darshan of Mount Kailash. How can you decide yourself to come over? You look like an old man and you have already become a lump of flesh. You are bleeding everywhere. How can you go up there and have vision? It's better you go back. I advise you. But what Thirunavukkarasar replied? What did he reply? He told him, okay, if I go back, what will happen? I will be safe. But will I not die one day or other? I have to die one day or other. Why not now? See, I have a name, I have an aim, I have a motto. I have a motto. I want to see Lord Shiva with his spouse on Mount Kailash. If it is not possible, let me die here. So at least my life will have some meaning that Thirunavukkarasar died on the way to Mount Kailash. He died. Okay. Thirunavukkarasar lived. Since he turned back to Tamil Nadu, he lived. Does it bring fame to me? Will my life will become meaningful? No, not at all. So let me die here. So I want to see Lord Shiva with his spouse Amma on Mount Kailash. I will not go back. See, even before Lord Shiva, he uttered his wish as to have darshan of Amma in Mount Kailash, not a blunt request of I want to see Mount Kailash. It's not Mount Kailash he wanted. He wanted to have darshan of Lord Shiva and Maheshwari on the Mount Kailash. So he acceded. Lord Shiva told him, yes, I appreciate. Come on, get up. Thirunavukkarasar, on hearing his words, he found all the wounds healed. He was standing up afresh. And he came to know, and he found out that only Lord Shiva had come, not ordinary sage has come. Lord Shiva had come. Okay. Again he pouring water like a ocean. He was weeping, crying. And he is saying, oh my Lord Shiva, you saved me, but you have not saved my submission. You just give me darshan. Then the voice from the sky was heard. Now, Karsu, you just have a dip in the pond nearby. Only on hearing this, he looked there. There was a pond. He didn't remember there was a pond there, but somehow or other there was a pond. He looked at it, and the voice continued. You take a dip in the pond. Once you come up, once you come out of the pond, you will find yourself in Thiruvayaru. In Thiruvayaru, I will give you my darshan in Mount Kailash. As if you have been to Mount Kailash, you will feel all the feel you will have. You will have the darshan of me at Mount Kailash in Thiruvayaru. I will make the arrangements. Go back. You need not travel once again. You need not undergo all the hard experiences you had already had. Just take a dip in the pond and get up in Thiruvayaru tank. He was so happy. He sang songs about Mount Kailash, a string of verses on Mount Kailash, Tiruthandakam, and he recited Panchaksharam, and he got into the pond and dipped himself, immersed himself in the pond. How long he was there, he didn't know. When he popped up his head out of the pond, he can see by himself, he was in Thiruvayaru. Everywhere it was busy. People were going here and there. It was very busy. Thiruvayaru. He came out of the pond, and the experience, he was not able to believe it. One moment he was in the mountains, the next moment he is in Thiruvayaru. Okay, he was walking towards the temple. He was slowly walking towards the temple. Some or other, he got the feeling as if he is moving towards Mount Kailash. He has started feeling as if he is moving towards Mount Kailash. He had so many special experiences, and he was moving towards the temple. Once he reached the temple entrance, suddenly the whole environment changed. The whole environment was changed. He saw there before him the Mount Kailash, with the mist all over spread over the Mount Kailash. And he even felt the cold. He was shivering slightly because he was in Mount Kailash. He felt shivering, and the cool breeze was there, and he started feeling a special inner feeling, some happiness. that cannot be compared with the worldly happiness. It's a special happiness. See, we are experienced to have happiness in this world of some kind, but this happiness cannot be compared to that. It is unique. It was unique for him. He felt very inexplicable happiness. He was moving towards, and he just saw the Mount Everest, Mount Kailash, and his happiness cannot be described. He was just moving in, as if he is going towards Mount Kailash. He immediately saw the great bull in front of that, and it was swinging its head and looking towards him, and also wagging its tail. He got very happy over it and just passed over the Nandi, as if Nandi has approved him to go ahead. Go ahead. He took it for a sanction. He took it for an approval from Nandi, and he praised, and he also bowed before it and proceeded towards. And he saw there so many celestial girls are dancing, swinging, and a beautiful scent, a floral scent was flowing out of it, along with the songs, music and scent, and the inexplicable scent, aroma. How can we say that? How can we compare it to the worldly aroma or scent or odor? We cannot compare. Everything was very new to him. So he was moving slowly towards that, and he saw the girls were dancing, and they were also throwing flowers on him, because they were there to greet devotees coming to Mount Kailash. The devotees coming to Mount Kailash, their duty is to worship them, to greet them. So as if to greet him, they were throwing flowers on him. Small soft music was coming out of the mountain. He was going ahead. He was proceeding ahead, and suddenly he saw rishis, and they were reciting Veda Ghoshas, and beautiful Tamil verses were also being sung. They were also heard, and he can hear that those songs were those of him and Jnana Sambandar. Those Tamil verses, once they sing here, they directly go to Kailash. There they are recited for worshipping and doing pujas for Lord Shiva. You should not forget that these are all our Tirumuris are worldly things. They are in Mount Kailash itself. The ample proof is that when Seraman Perumal Nayanar went over there, he resided there and it was there. Tamil songs. So the Tamil verses, Vedic verses, everybody was reciting, and he was able to hear them very, and holy, the fumes were there everywhere with a scent of holiness, and he was proceeding further. There he saw Brahma, Thirumal and Indradi, the celestial people. They were heard. Every there, people were standing there and worshipping, taking their hands above the head. They were standing. And he can see Thirumal, he can see Brahma, he can see Indra, he can see Varunan, he can see Vayu, he can see fire, Agni, He can see Yama. All those people are standing there and worshipping Lord Shiva. What a sight he had. Then he again proceeded. There he saw another bull of Thirumal. Thirumal was a bull there again in another form, another Thirumal who summoned, who requested, who submitted Lord Shiva to be bull for him forever. So one Thirumal in the form of a bull was there, and he saw him, and he went there. He went over there, and he was crossing him, and he went over in ahead, and there he saw Bhudaganangal. So many Bhudaganangal. Bhudaganangal, demons, they are holy demons. And they were very happy and joyfully dancing, and they were all there. He saw them. And he again further proceeded and to see at last the Lord Shiva with Lord Parameshwar, Lord Goddess Parameshwari. Both of them were there. Tears were running from his eyes. He was not able to describe his feel. He felt himself in Mount Kailash with the Lord Shiva and his Lord, the goddess Maheshwari. He was there, and he was there how long? He didn't know. He was there looking at them, praying them, and also shivering, jumping, going here and there, and he was having a look at them. And here David Chekadar says, who is compatible or who is capable of explaining his happiness? Nobody can do it. Even I cannot explain how he felt at that moment there. I cannot explain there. So he was having that wonderful darshan there, and nobody in this world can be compared to our Thirunavukkarasar, because he didn't go to Mount Kailash, he brought Mount Kailash to Tamil Nadu. Who can do that? Just think of it. He came, the whole abode came to Tiruvayyaru. Who will come? For whom he will come? For whom he will come? He had come down to such a level only because of Thirunavukkarasar. Nobody could have brought Kailash to Tamil Nadu. He had brought it along with Lord Shiva. Everybody went over there, everybody had a darshan there, that's all. But he brought the whole abode, Lord Shiva's abode, here in Tiruvayyaru. And he had a darshan and he felt it. And when he was having the darshan, and when he was joyful and joyous without beyond description, slowly the scenes were receding. Slowly the scenes were vanishing, and the Tiruvayyaru temple was seen once again. The whole vision disappeared. The darshan was completed. As a matter of fact, the darshan was completed. Even though the darshan was completed, he didn't come out of the trance there. He was there. He was there. Bewildering look. I was in Mount Kailash. How can I be here? He was thinking. He was in a trance. Slowly he came out, and he felt it somehow or other disappointed. Oh my Lord, why did you bring me back to this? You could have kept me there itself. But how can he keep him? He has other duties to do here. other duties to do here. So, after completing the darshan, again he composed a string of verses on Lord Shiva and Thiruvayaru, and he was there for quite a long period. Lot of padiyams he did there in Thiruvayaru, and he felt that his life motto has been completed, has been fulfilled by Lord Shiva's grace. How merciful Lord Shiva! He took the whole he came over to Thiruvayaru to complete, to fulfill his desire. So he thanked him in the form of lot of verses, and as usual he did lot of services to the Thiruvayaru temple, and also for the city he did services, and he was there. Both Vadavaram and Devaram he was executing, and he was there for quite a long period. Then he decided to proceed further to visit other shrines, and he came over to Tiruppunduruthi, if I am correct. He came to Tiruppunduruthi. In Tiruppunduruthi, he did lot of services. He visited the holy sanctum, and he composed a string of verses as usual, and he was there. And at that time, when he was there at that time, he heard the news that Triyana Sambandar was proceeding to Tiruppunduruthi. On hearing this, he decided to stay back, because otherwise he would have moved from this place to other place. He was planning to continue his journey, holy journey. But on hearing this news, he decided to stay back and to have darshan of this holy child, Triyana Sambandar. See, people will be very happy to have darshan of holy people. See, if you are blessed, we will be always seeing the blessed people, the holy people, their faces, their words, their association. Because of our bad deeds, because of bad deeds, we have to be in this world, and we have to meet so many people out of our thoughts, out of our field. See, we may not be willing to see some people, but for life compulsion, we have to meet them, we have to mix with them, we have to mingle with them. All these things, we have to some or other associate with them. See, if you work in an office, you cannot expect everybody to be a likely person for you. Like, it cannot be possible. It's not possible, isn't it? Some people you may not like their manners, their behavior, their words, their way of talking, their way of behaving. You may not like, but some or other you have to pull on. But Arulalar, great people, Arulalar, great people will never take a chance of such things. They will go away from, they will depart themselves, they will dissociate themselves from such a connection. They will see to that they will not be in such a mob or a group, and they will depart themselves from them. So, Thirunavukkarasar, wherever he goes, he sees only people in Saivam, devotees in Saivam, good people in Saivam. So he was very happy to see people, to have association with people. And when he heard Tiriyana Sambandar was proceeding to Tirupunduruthi, he wanted to have a glimpse of him, wanted to have a darshan of him. So many people are longing, making so many efforts to see Thirunavukkarasar, to have darshan of Thirunavukkarasar, to be at his feet. So many people are coming round and around Thirunavukkarasar, not to get away from him. They want to be with him. But Thirunavukkarasar was not in a mood to keep them with him, because he wanted to be alone and to be modest and humble. He didn't want to be worshipped. So it is a modest way and humble way. That is Dasa Margam. Say he won't be willing other persons to have a worshipping or giving a lot of respect for him. All those things he didn't like. Even Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar had high regard for Thirunavukkarasar. So whenever Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar met Thirunavukkarasar, Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar will not allow Thirunavukkarasar to bow before him, to pay respect for him. He will not allow Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar. Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar, no, don't do that, please, don't do that. He will go and catch hold of Thirunavukkarasar's hands. So Thirunavukkarasar was not able to make a devotion of Jnana Sambandar. He wanted to have a devotional look without disturbance. Nobody should disturb him. He must have a darshan, he must worship him, he must pay the respects, he must perform the puja. Puja means inner puja, aha pusai. He wanted to have it. On seeing Jnana Sambandar, he wanted to have aha puja. How to do it? People won't allow him to do it. Now, even Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar will not allow him to do it. So he decided, if Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar is going to come Tirupunduruthi, I will go to the border. I will go to the borderline before he reaches Punduruthi. I will go over there and I will mingle in the crowd and I will have a darshan and I will be in the disguise of an adiyar. Nobody can recognize me. In the disguise, I will go near the palanquin and I will have a darshan of him. So I will worship him. I will pay my ahapuja to him when he is in palanquin. That is very important. Once he gets out of it, he will not have the chance to have that worship, devotion. So planning that, he proceeded, knowing the time when Sambandar was reaching the border and he was waiting there in the border of Punduruthi. Nobody knew where Upper was and he proceeded there and he was in the full disguise of an adiyar. He had his head covered with a cloth and he was waiting for him. Once he was able to see the palanquin, when he was able to hear the sound, Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar Vazhga, Parasamaya Kolari Vazhga, Palara Vayan Vazhga. So all these goshams, where all these sounds came, he came to know that he was proceeding and he immediately proceeded over there. He mingled in the crowd and was having the darshan of Tirunavukkarasar Sambandar in the palanquin. Tears were running from his eyes over the cheek. See, he had the feeling of the Mount Kailash darshan. He had the darshan of Mount Kailash. There he had the darshan of Lord Shiva. Here he had the darshan of Guru, Jnana Sambandhar, Guru Jnana Sambandhar. He was having the same happiness he got. He looked at him. Tears were running down his cheeks. And not only, of course, he immediately came to an idea. We should not be carry the palanquin. Let us carry the palanquin. At least let this body get a sacred thing to be done in this world. Let me go over there. And he was going and begging one of the carriers, hello, please give me a chance to bear this. Please. He told him. He told him, you are an old man. How can you do that? Don't worry, I will carry. Don't worry. So immediately he gave the chance and he was carrying the palanquin. Slowly the palanquin was proceeding towards the Punduruthi. Some or other Tiriyana Sambandhar had a feeling, uneasy feeling. He's a great man, isn't it? Thirunavukkarasar. He is full of grace. It was emanating. It was radiating. See, if you go near a true devotee, an Arulalar, the mentor, the Guru, if you go near, you can feel the radiation. You can feel the radiation. The grace of radiation. He felt the radiation. Some or other he felt uneasy. He asked the people in the palanquin, somebody told me Upper was here. Somebody told me Upper was here. Where can we find him? He was asking. Where can we find him? He was asking. Just before him, just by the side of him, Thirunavukkarasar was there carrying the palanquin, and on hearing his words, he submitted himself and he thought we should not hide ourselves anymore because he was searching me. So I cannot hide myself. I cannot be hiding myself from my Guru. He was searching me with a sincere love. So he immediately uttered the word, oh my child, I am here carrying you. I am getting the most happiness moment in this world. I am just carrying you here. I am just beneath your feet. He was saying. On hearing this, immediately the child jumped out of the palanquin. Jumped out of the palanquin. What did you say? Where did I have this saying? Where is Upper? Then he came before him. What did you do like this? How can you do like this? It brought me very uncomfortable feel. Thirunavukkarasar told him, no, don't feel like that. It was my pleasure to carry you. I longed for it. I longed for it and did it. Kindly accept my love. And both of them were embracing each of them, and they were proceeding towards their mutt. There they exchanged the experiences. Jnana Sambandhar told him all his experiences, because after Tirumari Kadu, he was meeting him only now. After Tirumari Kadu, he went over to Pandyan kingdom and changed, completely brought out the change, and he came back. Tiruyana Sambandhar told him all the details, and also how he cured the Pandyan king's hunchback, and he was restored to his normal position. All those details he explained him. And he also told him that the whole Pandyan kingdom had come under Saivam. Everybody is wearing now holy ash on their forehead. He was delightfully explaining. On hearing this, Thirunavukkarasar told him, I also want to visit Alavai. I also want to go to Alavai. I also want to have darshan of Alavai Annal Sokkanathar. I also want to have the darshan of Mangaikarasi and Nedumaran. He told him. Then Jnanasambandha Peruman told him, okay, you can go ahead and you will be feeling it very happy when on seeing Alavai. And both of them departed. Thirunavukkarasar continued and he came over to the Pandyan kingdom. He directly went to Alavai, Thiru Alavai. There he made verses on occasion and he was very happy to see darshan. On hearing his visit to the temple, immediately Mangaikarasiyar and Nedumaran, Pandyan king, rushed to the temple. They were very happy to see Thirunavukkarasar and they prostrated before his feet and he blessed them and everybody was very happy there, and both Mangaikarasi and Pandyan king hosted Thirunavukkarasar and came to know lot of details about his visit to other places in Madurai. Then he told them that he would be willing to continue his journey, and they also agreed, and he proceeded towards Tirunelveli, Rameswaram, all those places he visited and had darshan, and he also composed verses on Lord Shiva there. He was there in Rameswaram and he worshipped the holy shrine, and he was also taking the holy dip in the sea, and he was there. And he also visited Periya. There Lord Shiva gave him the beautiful darshan. That we will see in our next episode. We will describe that incident in the next episode, and also we will complete the life history of Thirunavukkarasar in the next week. Those people who are listening to this life history of our Thirunavukkarasar and other Nayanmars, they are blessed. Their sorrows and their griefs in this life, in their lives, will be eradicated by Lord Shiva, because when we hear the life history of Nayanmar, happiness will be brought to our life, miseries will be eradicated in our life by Lord Shiva. So that is why our Guru Mahas are advising us to always hear the holy history of our Nayanmars. We have to thank Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan Kattar, because they only they are sponsoring these nice programs, and this has been going on for a few months, and it would be continuing for other Nayanmars also. And let us pray Lord Shiva to bestow upon them his blessings. And with this I am just concluding this episode, and as a conclusion note, let us recite the 5-letter mantra 5 times. Tiruchittambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.